Hello and welcome to an update video from Ellensburg Amplifier Repair and Service on these Butler tube amplifiers. So I just finished up the repair of this 4-channel board, and I figured I would just go through this real quick as reference for anybody else that is online searching for references to these Butler tube amplifier boards here. So again, this uses 4 606 vacuum tubes, the Russian style, short base, coin base style there for you. I'll just go over what the original, this was the last 4-channel board that I was working on, the original fault of this board. This board has been tremendously hot. There's some darkening of the board, as you can kind of see right over here. Through the traces, you can see the darkening of the board. This board has been warm, so there was multiple failure points to this board. So I'm just going to run through real quick what I've done. I have used the, how do you pronounce these, Excicon 10 amp 200 volt transistors. I just wanted to point these out that they do work quite well in the Butler tube amplifiers here. The signal's still clean as ever. So the input board here, let me just pop this out here real quick and show you what I did. The input board has 2 TL072s. Well, it's got 4 of these. Correction, sorry about that. It's got 4 TL072s. You got 2 that are hiding right behind these DIN plugs here. These 2 072s are your primary input op amps there for you, and they were, one of the 2 was originally damaged, so I went ahead and replaced both of those because it was distorting the signal. I was getting a little bit of distortion on the high and low side of the sine wave, so I went ahead and replaced both of those TL072s and clean the potentiometers. These were kind of full of, looked like sand. So these potentiometers, I do advise, making sure your potentiometers are clean. Otherwise, you're going to have some scratchy sound coming from it. So another thing that I had to replace was this TIP31C right here, which they had pop riveted through the board. I pulled the pop rivet and soldered that 31C right to the board here. This TIP31C is responsible for controlling the fan. So it gets a 12 volt signal coming back from the power supply side, this 4070 over here. It gets 12 volts and pulls the emitter to ground, which then completes the ground path to the fan. Now the fan gets its 12 volts from the second pin over here on each side. The board that has the 6L6s have 12 volts and switch ground on it right here. So originally the fan wasn't coming on. So I traced it back and found that it's controlled by this 31C here. So I replaced that 31C, and now the fan comes on as it should, because I was getting 12 volts here on the base of the TIP, the original 31C. So I was getting the 12 volts there, but it was not switch or pulling that transistor to ground. So I replaced that also. So it's got all new output transistors. Power supply is fine. Everything's good there. Everything's secure. So the way these work is you have your input signals coming in off these TL072s. It finds its way down over here to these 2 TL072s. These drive Q40, Q41, so 39, 40, and 41, and 42, 43, and 44. These drive the 6L6 tubes, and then the tubes drive the output transistors. And then the output transistors go right to your output terminals. So that's how this amplifier works. They just use a vacuum tube in the middle during the preamp stage here, and they drive output transistors. So that's a quick rundown of the Butler tube amplifiers, and in a roundabout way how these work for you. Oh, and these supply your voltages for your TL072s, these two TIPs over here. Almost forgot about that. Otherwise, these are pretty straightforward. So again, guys, I do thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like repair content. I try to come out with videos as much as possible. And keep your fingers safe. Watch out for the rail voltage. Stay safe, guys. Thanks for watching.